Okay, so picking up where we left off there, we have 2/3 to the -1. That's a really simple idea. What do you do? Anything to the -1 means what? You just do what? Flip it. What's the technical name for flipping it? Reciprocal. Okay. And how about this one? It's a reciprocal, but you also do what? Square it. And so instead of 5/4, you should put 25/16. Okay. This one, c, and I don't know if you can see this because it's kind of small, but it's c to the -5th there and c to the 7th there. What does that make? C to the... What do you do to these guys? Add them, so it's c to the 2nd. This one is d to the -2nd, and so that one needs to be written as 1/d², because you don't want to leave negatives in your exponents. Okay, this one's really simple. What is it? E to the 24. You'll learn a lot about e as more than just a variable next year. It's kind of a cool concept. All right, this g to the 0, it sort of looks like you can't do anything because they're different variables, but you can, because g to the 0 is really what? So it's really f to the -2/1, which is the same as f to the -2. Why can't I just write this? Because you say 1/f to the 2nd, yes. Because you're not supposed to leave negatives in your answers. Okay, negative exponents, I should say. This one, I really wish it was x to the 6th equals 895, because we're not going to be able to figure out what the answer is anyway. And so let's just do that. I can change that if I want to. So how do I fix this? Not the square root. The 6th root. How do you do the 6th root? It's 1/6, like that. And then x equals that answer. But what do you have to remember? Plus or minus, because we did a square root, kind of, except it's a even root. If this has an even root like this, you got to remember the plus minus. Okay, this one, we can't just jump in and put it to the like fix the power thing, because what do we got to do first? Divide by 6. And then it'll be x to the 1.5 equals 80/6, and that can be reduced to x to the, I'm going to make this 3/2 is the same as 1.5, equals, and I'm going to reduce that to 40/3. And then I can do what power to fix that? 2/3. And then I can say x equals 40 to the 2/3 over 3 to the 2/3. Well, 40 to the 2/3, I think I need a calculator for this. I was thinking this might be the kind where you could do it in your head. There are some like that coming soon, but this I don't think you could do in your head. So you'd use a calculator. On to the next type of problem I want to look at here. I've got 4 to the... I got 4 as a base and 4 as a base. That tells me that those must equal those. And in case it's hard to read for you, it says 4x equals 24. If the bases are the same, it's that simple. Just take the powers and set them equal. What's the final answer? Good. This one. This is the same as b to the... I got an x here, I got a 7 here, so it's x minus 7 equals b to the 9th. You see why it's nice to write it that way? Now that equals that. And x minus 7 has to equal 9. Get that? So then you add 7 to both sides. The answer is x equals 16. Good. The last one's the same idea, so I'll just move on to this next kind. 9 to the 3/2 without a calculator. 9 to the 3/2 is the same as 9 to the 1/2 to the 3rd. You remember breaking them up like that? And what's 9 to the 1/2? Square root of 9 is 3. 3 to the 3rd. 27. All right, this one. 2/5 to the -2nd. Well, I can break it up in 2 parts. I go it to the -1 and then to the 2nd. So that's going to flip it, and it'll turn into 5/2. And then we square it, and it would be what? 25/4. All right. I'm getting tired. I'm going to move on to these next ones. This I could write as x to the 1/5 equals 12. See how that's easier to solve? What do I just put them both to? The 5th, and I'll be done. Okay, over here, I have 8x to the third to the 1/2 equals 20. And if you try to divide by 8 on both sides, you're doing it wrong. If you try to put 8 to the 1/2, you're doing it wrong. What should you do? Square both sides. Squared, squared. What's 20 squared? 400. And this one cancels. I got 8x to the third. Now I get rid of the 8 by doing what? Divide by 8, and then what? Put it to the 1/3 power. Okay. I'm just going to do one more. Where is the one I want? There it is. This one. I'd like you to try solving that on your paper. It says, in case you're having trouble reading it from the back row, 5th root of x to the third minus 23 equals negative 15. I'll pause while you do that. Okay, what do I do first? Add 23. I got x to the something after I add 23. 15 and 23 makes 8. Okay. And then how do I write this smarter? X to the 3/5. Now I can put both sides to the 5/3. And I'll have x equals, oh, I can do this in my head. 8 to the 1/3 to the 5th. And 8 to the 1/3 is 2. And 2 to the 5th is? Yes, x equals 32. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. All right. I think we've covered a lot of what you need to know for exponentials.